Hello, everybody. How exciting is this? Welcome to Right Club. Beautiful Nor's in. Oh, how glamorous do you look, Nor? Oh my goodness, you are a beautiful woman, and you look beautiful. Oh, I'm all pins and needles. I'm all pins and needles. You look beautiful, stunning. So, colleagues, welcome, welcome, welcome to Right Club. And Kirsty is back from her lifestyle location. We've missed you, Kirsty. Are you well?
I am. I've missed everyone as well. It's been quite a month, but I'm back here and I'm so excited to be here today.
And you're well and okay. Everything.
Getting there, getting there. Yeah, you know.
I know it's like capitalism. We're alive. It's all look. As long as Lorraine's in my life, I can move forward. As long as Lorraine's gone, I'm with you. So Adrian's with us from another location. Jen has joined us from the Death Star once more. So colleagues, a fantastic, exciting Right Clubs in front of us with two members from the People's Republic of Western Australia. If we've got three West Australians on the call, you know this is quality. So colleague, let's begin. Let's go for it. Let's really make some fantastic changes in knowledge in the next 29 minutes. Let's go for it. And Vita, let's get up for it. Come on. You're wearing Mandarin. You look great. Come on, Vita. Let's do this. See you in 29 minutes. Rock and roll, team. Let's do it. Last minute, colleagues. And we are done. Oh, that was big. Oh, that was big. Oh, that was big. And we'll start with the lifestyle location with our Kirsty. Welcome back, Kirsty. Now, what were you writing on, Angel? I'm always excited to hear about your amazing work.
Oh, I'm actually just addressing feedback at the moment. So I'm starting to get all my chapters together, and I've got 2 articles in draft form. And so I sort of feel like I'm forever addressing feedback, which is fab, but it's, it's just, I think, because this is my last year. So I'm very excited and I'd like to submit by the end of October. But yeah, I'm equally excited and terrified. So
Oh, Kirsty, you'll be amazing. But what I do is I'd also try and create some fresh air. So I think Write Club is a great place to do feedback, but always make sure you've got that fresh air to write your stuff too, because just staying in other people's feedback means you're living in other person's life, really. So make sure you're giving yourself your intellectual space too, all right?
oh, that's a great idea. Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, you're the best. Oh, Kirsty, I'm thrilled to have you back. And look, the light of our lives, Lorraine, who's joined us in a very attractive sort of bluey purple today. So
I think it's a grey, but I'll go with
it's a grey.
I think it's a grey. It's just I haven't got lights on in this room. But yeah, anyway, I like blue purple, but it is grey.
Okay, I'm going completely mad. I don't know what type of acid I dropped before this morning, Lorraine, but there we go. Now, Lorraine, what are you working on at the moment? This is great.
I was really scratching my head, so I'm trying to find the right word concept to describe this group that I'm researching. And it started off with it's peer support that they provide to each other, but it's so much more than that. It's and I've created a folder and I've did a nice spider diagram this morning about 5 o'clock because I was laying there thinking about it of different, it's not a cult, it's a way of life, but there's peer support, it's not a religion, and just all these, and I was just trying to put a diagram together to help me try and conceptualize what I'm trying to say, because I haven't got my title, which I'm not too worried about yet because I know it will come, but without knowing exactly what it is, the title's not coming. So yeah.
Now, Lorraine Dallin, we've talked a bit in Write Club, but also Digital Office Hours about post subculture.
Post subculture, yes.
Now, and of course, Liam's still on the call in the middle of the night from the north of England. We love you, Liam. But why that's useful, Lorraine, is I use the word post a lot because post is not in the past. Post is that which questions the word that follows. That's what the word means. So I wonder if post subculture, because it's a community of support and identity, it's a signifying system, which is why subculture has some relevance there. So maybe just play with that a little bit, and I'll try and think of some things and send it to you, Lorraine,
Thank you.
over the weekend, all right?
Really appreciate that, yeah.
Oh, wow. And one other thing, just because I'm reading this at the moment, there's all sorts of things like a communities of practice, community of. Maybe ask Dr. Google to list the communities of, because obviously COPs are the obvious example of that. There may be one that I don't know about. And again, I'll do some homework for you. Communities of, and there might be a noun that captures what you're doing.
Lovely. Thank you. Appreciate that. Sorry, I haven't more dynamic with my conversation, but it's just a real.
Oh, no, mate, I'm in this. I had one of those 30 minutes too. I'm like, what's my own name? What's my own name? Yeah, you did fantastic, Lorraine. And look, let's go to Glamour Central and Noor. I just feel like I'm underdressed. I feel underdressed. You are just magnificent. So, Noor, what were you writing on? Oh, it's an exciting time for you, my queen.
Yes, of course, Tara. So I also want to announce that last week I submitted and I received an announcement from the HDR that on the 8th March, so next week on the Friday after your writing club. So I invited all of the member and also you, Tara. Maybe you can attend to my COC to give me my feedback to my research.
will.
So honestly I'm tired, but on the other side I'm so excited because finally I'm in that stage.
Yes.
So I was writing and I was polishing my slides. And yeah, I am designing about the research process onion to illustrate my philosophical stance of my research, so my audience can easily to understand my research design. So yeah, and thank you so much for your kind motivation, all of you in the writing club. Thank you so much.
Hasn't it been just amazing to see Noah's incredible expertise and happiness and confidence grow? Kylie and I just cry our way through our club. We cry our way through. Noah, you're very precious to us. And next Friday,
Thank you
which of
so
course
much.
is International Women's Day.
Yes.
It seems a wonderful, wonderful day to
Yes,
confirmation.
I'm so lucky. Yes, thank you so much, Tara and everyone. Much love for you.
Much love to you. So we'll have to be really on time, won't we? Next week we'll have to really be on time to
Yes,
to
I'm
Noah's
so
event.
nervous.
Oh, you'll
Yeah.
be amazing. We'll be with you, darling. We're so proud of you.
Thank you.
Keep working on those slides. We're exciting. And you can see the legendary Adrian, how smooth, what a smooth operator he's looking this morning. So Adrian, what were you writing on, brother?
I've just finished my methodology chapter, and so there's two components that I'm now basically creating headings for topic sentences and just kind of really just trying to get my whole analysis of just happening. So yeah, trying to turn it into something that actually flows. And so it was more thinking, less writing this time around, sorry.
No, that's good because, you know, that topic sentence diagnostic work is absolutely crucial. And obviously in a couple of weeks when you're back, we'll talk about in digital office hours, the artifact exegetical component. So that might also enable and support you, mate. But yeah, hang in there. And if you're doing the diagnostic flow work, Adrian, in an artifact exegetical thesis, that's crucial. It's hard and it's crucial. Oh, good on you, mate. Well, let's go to the wonderful Maeve. So, Maeve, tell us what you were writing on, my darling.
Good morning. So I was doing some hush writing on the relationship of my excursion to King's Cross in November last year and the novel. So it's really important. And it'll go into the milestone document, taxonomies, most likely. Yeah, so I was just trying to get that down, and relates to Louis now, things that you and I have discussed that are novel related, but and also wanting to integrate the excursion I took to King's Cross with the artifact and with progress.
Oh, I think that's excellent. So all that sort of material, get that organised, mate. That's brilliant. Well done, you.
Could I ask two quick questions? So
Yes.
one is mitigating journal. Do you want any of that in this document? Or if so, do you want it in appendix or?
Right. So yes, and appendix, yes.
Okay, good answer. So other thing, wonderful answer. So the reason I was actually had my hand up was that you mentioned International Women's Day.
Yes.
And did you or did Jamie tell you about the little Facebook discussion which Kylie, myself and others have had about next week's Women's Day and possibly like a theme? And so I'll let Kylie speak to it, but Kylie has suggested Jamie first had a stack of very good suggestions, but he humbly noticed that he was in an awkward position suggesting what we would discuss for International Women's Day. I take that on board, Jamie, well said. But young Kylie with the sensational hair and academic arc suggested that could we discuss making ourselves the main character in our life, Is that correct?
Yes.
Over to you, Kylie.
I think that's nice, Kyles. I think so.
Yes.
So next week when we're doing both Digital Office Hours and Right Club, let's focus on the self and the self as a researcher and how that's configured. Is it that sort of vibe, Kyles?
Yeah, and basically making, and I know you quoted a lot, making yourself the star of your own show, basically.
Yeah. I think-
And Maeve, I'll also comment that the boys are just as important on International Women's Day. Yeah, they have a pivotal position in a lot of places supporting us.
Yes. See, that's why, I mean, I have a very ambivalent relationship with International Women's Day, but that's why I'm very, because I mean, my positioning, what the hell am I? What the hell am I? You know, I sort of self-identify as a fag hag. So it's very challenging for me to configure a space for myself. But look, it's very important if we can all have that sort of moment of pause and reflection when we're doing our work next week and think about the self and how the self occupies space as a researcher. I think that's lovely. I think it's lovely. So well done, mate. And look, while we're with the Queen herself, the Red Queen. So Kylie, what were you writing on, Queen Kylie?
I was a bit like you, Tara's, and deep in that space. Just, it was probably about 6 weeks ago, we had a discussion, and I think it was Joss and Jamie put the idea that connectivitism, I've got to get it right, and that network of learning. So through the research, I've got the usual Venn diagram of what are the sort of skills that the asset managers need, but what's the theory about underpinning how we train them? And you mentioned the community practice. That's why I laugh, because I was already sort of making notes around that and how do we underpin that learning from a technical perspective to support the people in local government. So it was just reading of the journals and trying to fit the pieces together.
And Carl's, another phrase I came up with was network of practice too this week. Network of practice.
That was, the reading that I was just doing was around that network and how that network you start with your network and the importance of that network feeding it back. So, yeah, not just a community practice where you've just asked them. It's that growth of that network of people around you.
And Kyle, maybe you and Lorraine, wasn't that the weirdest combination?
Yes.
You and Lorraine keep, if either of you find something, talk to each other, all right? That's crucial. Fantastic.
I've already sent her a little message before when she was talking about her group and the Venn diagrams and all that.
Oh, that's exciting. Now, I saw that our legendary, our favourite northern person in the universe, the legendary Liam, put his hand up, but also Liam, brother, what were you writing on in the middle of a northern evening?
I was putting things together to help my friend hopefully become a senior lecturer soon. Yeah. So I was researching the job and what it requires and what they want my friend to do in this audition for this job. So that's what I've been doing.
Oh, and Liam, send me anything that you think's appropriate on the weekend to offer any commentary, okay? But these are hard gigs, mate. These are hard gigs. But remember, there's a lot of Goffman there too. They have a list of things they require. No human has that, Liam. So
yeah, it was just a weird one because my friend told me that they're expecting the panel are expecting them to present on Teams a mini teach, and it's like, how can you do that on Teams? That's like, you know, it requires live interaction. So I was quite surprised by the requirements.
yeah. Yes,
for
Liam,
that audition.
it's rubbish, and you can tell your mate that what that's going to feel like. It's going to feel like you're speaking to a wall. So actually,
Yes.
got to get themselves warmed up because it's horrific. And again, there's no way to pretty this up. It's going to be horrific for them, and they've got to do sort of 10 minutes star turn. They'll get no feedback, no response, nothing at all. People may even turn their screens off. So you really have to practice doing those actually to a wall, and that's the best way you can prep.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You're amazing.
With some of my lecturing type stuff, Liam might help, is I actually have pictures of people that I know and I pulled it behind the screen because I'm doing a lot of lecturing where I'm just talking to myself at the moment because I look at it later. So I just have it there and I chat to them.
Kylie, the thing, I would actually like if I was my friend and what they've got to do, I would say, "Oh, cheers, Karen. Cheers, Tara. Cheers, yeah, Julie."
Yeah.
I'd just be like, and I'd forget. So that's why I've advised my friends not to do that, simply because I'd lose the performance.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it is a performance, it's fake. The thing about interviews, and we might do work on interviews and digital office hours at some point, but you've got to remember, Liam, they are completely fake. They are completely imagined. There is nothing in the rest of your life that is like an interview. So you just prep it, knowing it's completely arbitrary and fake and pretend. And, you know, the idea that that's a proxy for how a working life will be actioned makes me laugh. Yeah, look, colleague, makes me laugh every day. An interview has absolutely nothing to do with working performance.
Well, that's why I called it an audition.
It is.
And
Yeah.
having been like Tara on the other side of that table, it is. It's just fake.
It's fake.
After you've left out the whole conversation you have and you sit there and go, what am I doing here on the panel sometimes?
Liam, mate, they give you questions, they give you this weird score, this 1 to 5. It's absolute rubbish. It's nonsense. There's no supplementals you can really ask. It's completely Goffman-esque constructed, mate. So
To tell your friend, chuck it all. Go their hardest.
go full Gloria Gaynor. Honestly, go full Gloria Gaynor. Blood on the dance floor, do it and see what happens. But Liam, send me stuff on the weekend, all right? So I'll be online all weekend. It's a hard weekend, so you send me stuff, Liam. You rock, mate. What a lovely man you are. Should we go to the other lovely man in our lives, the legendary Dougster? So Doug, what were you writing for your very, very aggressive supervisors?
Well, yesterday I finished the post-inter multi-transdisciplinary bit, and so that's in your little hot box, email boxing. But I was just doing the COC document again, which is got to be done, and also I've got to start with the real work soon as well, like the real chapters. But I just thought I'd continue working on this and wait and see how it goes.
Good on you, mate. I think, ironically, using a COC document as your weekly reflexive document for what you've done through the week is a brilliant idea, Doug, and it's yours. So well done you.
Okay, thanks.
Okie dokie, thanks. You're the best, Doug. We love you forever. The legendary Anastasia's joined us from that truly glamorous room. Now, beautiful Anastasia, what were you writing on for us today?
Hello, everyone. So the same as Kirsty, I was addressing the feedback comments from a supervisor I received last night. And yeah, that still motivates me because I hope it's the last iteration. It's my 5th draft already. So hopefully, one more iteration, I will be done in a couple of weeks. I will submit my paper.
Oh, my darling, that is absolutely amazing. So just hang with us, mate. I know it feels like you're dragging like 27 people behind you to get to that finishing line. I know that, but just know you are nearly there. And every step you take, it is like Everest. Every step you take feels small, but it's huge, okay? It's huge.
Thank you.
Oh, you're amazing. Should we go to the legendary Jen from the Death Star? So Jen, what happened in the Death Star this week?
It was very quiet. So basically, I'm revising my some of my stuff for my ethics around my participant information sheet.
Nice.
Was looking up some things on plain English and yeah, so rewritten a few things, put some notes in there to go to one of my supervisors for some feedback. Yeah, pretty happy with where I got.
Well done you. And I say it's interesting that the plain language statements, again, that's a great use of digital office hours and Right Club as well to get that out. So well done you. Hard to do, mate. Hard to do because you want clarity and precision and you've got to blade away the adjectives.
Yeah, I suppose the difficult thing for me is I could write it for a really strong YOLO context, but it may not make sense to the people that are actually approving the document. So yeah, I may do 2 versions. I'm not entirely sure yet.
I think that's interesting too. Ponder that, Jen. I'll ponder that on the weekend. Well done you. To our glamorous, magnificent Bree. Now, Bree, what magnificence were you writing on this week? We never know if you're writing science fiction, horror, fanzines, or the thesis. What are you writing on, Bree?
I was doing academic writing. I'm normally an early academic writer, but I actually was in hospital with my daughter last night.
Well,
She's
I'm
sick
so
at the
sorry.
moment.
I'm so sorry.
So I had some sleep this morning.
Bless you.
And she's asleep at the moment. And Jenny, I'm so glad that you've joined us. I'm so fascinated and interested with your topic. I actually write in Write Club with my kids, whoever's at home. And today I'm writing with my son. And I guess why I'm so interested in your topic, Jenny, is because I have struggled to see the value of being in that primary education system as to the value of not being in it for my kids. So yeah, it'll be an interesting topic to see. I was just what I was writing was my PowerPoint slides for my COC.
Come on.
So getting that ready.
You and Nor, what a fantastic combination you both are. You're amazing, Bree. You've got this, darling one, all right? You've got this. And just so you know, there's Brabazon Steele, the wonderful manager of HDR that is the light of my life, Fiona Steele. She is working on her PhD by prior publication at the moment, looking at the younger crew that refuse to go to school. And how we handle the refusing group that is, of course, increasing in its number. So we're all with you, and the time has come to have a good look at education, I think.
Yeah. Oh, Tara, sorry. I had a thought during my PowerPoint writing.
Yes,
so,
darling.
I'm tipping on literature and reading into our ontology.
Yes.
Polyontological thinking and monoontological thinking.
Yes.
And I had a thought that with monoontological thinking that I thought you'd like, that being dead and alive is not divided. It's not divided in us.
Done.
So there's a difference in the relationship of being dead and alive.
Look, I think so. I mean, what death study shows and grief study shows, Bree, is that binary opposition that is basically the foundation of humanity, a particular ontology, is shown in multiple cultures to not be a clean, crisp binary opposition. So what you're doing is looking at the third space, the space in between, and showing the death in the life and the life in the death. And, someone who's a trained death doula, that's what we do for a living. So it's as someone is dying, understanding the life in them and the death that is coming, but death is not a progressive formation, it's an iterative formation.
So fascinating.
Oh, what a great old goth moment that is on a Friday. Let's go to death. Good on you, Bree. That's brilliant. That's got my brain going. And look at the People's Republic of Western Australia. Mary was quite impressed by that. So Mary, post your very successful milestone, what were you writing on now?
Okay, so it's the first chapter of my thesis after the lit review. So my plan is by the end of this weekend to submit it to my supervisors, and I want to submit a chapter every month to them from now on.
That's good timing, Mary. One a month. That's good going, girl. That's good going. Well done, you. Proud of you, Mary. And look, beautiful Magella was sort of coming in there. So I was going to go to Magella next. The M's in my life. Magella, my darling, would you like to talk what you've worked through, my love? You're not visible at the moment, but how are you, darling? What were you writing on, my love?
I was writing about starting writing. Because I'm right at the beginning and I'm kind of in that place where everything is here and I'm not sure how to get it going.
Yes.
So I was kind of inspired by one of your YouTube outrider things about, I'm not sure if it was in there, but this thing about starting at the end.
Starting at the end.
And working backwards.
Yes.
And then also like the conversation this morning in the other session about AI. And so I actually signed up to ChatGPT earlier, and I had a conversation with the robot because what I'm looking at is about embodiment for teachers.
Yes,
And
love it.
so Chat GPT, if it could help me to create an image of an embodied teacher. And so it was really interesting. I created this image and then I was like, not really fully with that. Like, what if they were more embodied? Like, describe a more embodied teacher to me, and wrote another thing,
Well,
and it was.
Angela, sorry, there is another AI that actually creates artwork. You describe it. I don't know what it's called, but I've been meaning to use that. You describe an image and it creates it for you.
Yeah, I've seen that. I thought it was Chat GPT, but it didn't have that feature in it. I was seeing those things where it says like, show me like a coffee dad, and then make it more coffee dad, and then it like ends up being this really like crazy image. And I was sort of thinking it's a really like interesting place to jump off of.
Yes.
Like, what is our shared understanding that's obviously captured in AI of what it means to be, and how that's expressed and what that looks like. So
very interesting. And
yeah, interesting too.
Oh, darling, absolutely. And look, embodiment in education is, it's a 30-year project. It's a beautiful project. And there's a lot of work there where AI is this very interesting component to it. So you're working with and against representational politics as well.
Yeah, because we can have like these assumptions of what embodiment looks like. And, it got to the point where it was describing this person in, flowing clothes, who's very in control of themselves, and they're maybe yoga mats, and they're holding a feather or something like this. And I kind of wanted to get a bit deeper into like the grittiness, like what is it, like a really human teacher. I want to know what a human teacher is, and to explore that, to be like fully expressing what it means to be a human being, so that children can see what it means to be a human being, because that's what education is. We're trying to show children how to be people, right? And so we need to be real people for them to have something to like create themselves in response to.
Magella, as always, you're changing our lives. Can I say, someone who's taught for 30 years, I haven't used a yoga mat and a feather in some time. But I thank you for that information. You're the best, my darling. And look, colleagues, I'm running out of time, but I need to go to Susan and Vita to just check in with our crew. So Susan, and I'm sorry I didn't get round to everybody, I apologize, but Susan L, we can't manage without you. So what were you writing on this week? You're like my lifeline to the universe, mate.
Hi everybody. I'm taking an online course in qualitative research methodology. So I had homework, and I was editing the homework, and I managed to edit it and post it, and then evaluate one other student's work, all in 30 minutes.
See, Susan, you're absolutely amazing. I love MOOCs. Have you enjoyed that as a way to do a bit of qual work?
It's not as, to me, it's not as good as in person.
I agree.
But it helps. This is kind of like a refresher for me. We had to talk about, the different philosophical concepts of an article that we chose to read, and which concepts these researchers are using in it, and do they need to use these concepts? So, it's a refresher for me.
I might offline, wonderful Susan, I might ask you for that course, and I might quietly be doing that in the background too. I think you're amazing. Well done, Susan, you're legendary. And look, conscious of time, I'm sorry I didn't get around because I'm desperate to talk with you all, but the wonderful Anvita will finish with, she's joined us with that refreshing Mandarin colour. So Anvita, what were you writing on, my darling? Inspire us once more.
I've continued using this time to like do a little bit of reflective practice, as I said. And today I was actually taken back to a time that I was in high school, because I got back a bunch of feedback on my first 3 chapters of my thesis from one of my associate supervisors on Friday, right? And I was writing my experience of like unpacking that feedback and how to reflect. And I was like reflecting upon the kind of things that, or the themes that emerged out of the feedback. And unfortunately, a lot of it in like some sections, and I was expecting this to come, which was unfortunately a little sloppy. And that word, it's horrible to have somebody else tell that to you. But I don't know, for some reason I expected it to come at me. It's one like for about a couple of sections of a chapter. I'm not even going to try and defend myself, unfortunately. But it did take me back to a time when I was in high school, and I had this mathematics teacher who told me, "You're being sloppy, don't do it." And I've kind of like come back to that, which is realizing that I was being sloppy, but now I know what I want to do next. And that's kind of like the close the arc, I guess.
You're
So
a very
that's kind of
wise
what I-
woman, and Vita, you really are. And can I say, I got quite emotional because I had another staff member, not at this university, can I say, another university, that used a terrible word towards a student on a bit of a journey. And they said, well, look, that's an accurate word, but it's a hurtful word. And those of us that have the great gift of supervising, we must maintain control of our language, right? Because a word that is deployed to another human stays with them forever. It is a scar on our intellectual skin, right? And so you don't have to use sloppy. I think it's a terrible word. I sometimes use with my students, as a lot of you know, that's somewhat of an inelegant phrase. If we can render the phrase more elegant, right? And that's nicer. But darling, you are not sloppy. You are.
Tara, I definitely was at that. I don't.
No,
I think it was accurate, but yeah.
No, darling, it's simply about, okay, it's not sloppy. What that section was we need to reorder the paragraphs, check the topic sentences, and ensure that the argument is smooth.
Yeah.
Okay. You are precious to us. We are not sloppy. We are fabulous. What are we, team?
Fabulous.
Thank you to Right Club for being amazing. Nor, we're with you every minute of every second of every hour until next Friday. And colleagues, I'm sorry we didn't get around to everybody. You are spectacular and precious to us. See you, Kylie. See everybody next week. Blessings to you all. Much love. Bye-bye.